And when we whoop enough ass, everybody gonna get in line and do right.
All right. Peace and blessings. Peace and blessings. Assalamu alaikum. Shalom. Welcome, 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 everyone. We are live. And our topic today is peace is secured through strength. Peace is secured through strength. Now, before we get into our topic, I do have to address officially last Sunday, the last Sunday's program for those who watched it. I think this was probably one of the first programs where we had universal rejection or denunciation of a person that's been a part of the program for a while now, Brother Isaiah. And as you can all see, that Brother Isaiah is no longer on the panel. After the show last Sunday, I had a conversation with our brother and was talking to him about the show and his feelings about it, his thinking about it. Now he did say that he wouldn't apologize, but maybe give more clarity on it. And as I listened to what he had to say, and then going back and listening to the whole program again, he meant everything that he said, and it wasn't going to change. And so, as being the one responsible, I had to make a hard decision and to say that, well, my brother won't be back with us until he has a change of mind, a change of heart, and is willing to accept the Black First attitude. That Black First attitude is everything. It is everything to us. It is how we think. It is how we behave. It is who we are. And not just some sections of the day, but it's who we are 24 hours, 7 days a week. And it does not change. And what he demonstrated to us, and this wasn't the first time that this has happened. We talked, I don't know, was that earlier this year, Sister Cassie, or was it?
It was earlier this year, the first of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, and we talked about Haiti, and
every time we talk about Haiti,
exactly, there's a hot fire.
Yeah,
that comes behind that.
I mean, a hot fire.
And for the brother, was born in America to go to Haiti and develop this anti-Haitian attitude really doesn't make sense to me. Mm-hmm. There's a mindset that is bought into. Because during my research and understanding that at one time that whole island belonged to the Haitians. Mm-hmm. And then you've had the Spanish and the French come over, divided up, and the Haitian side was the French side, the Spanish side was the Dominican Republic. And so understanding that Haiti overthrew the French, kicked them out, and then overthrew the Spanish and kicked their asses out as well. Yeah. And then, the hatred between the two. But we showed a video where the leader of the Dominican Republic even did something to his skin to bleach it to be white. Mm-hmm. He wanted to whiten the society, take it away from blackness and steep it in whiteness. Mm-hmm. And, we know that because when they make their way to America, what do? Mm-hmm. They say quickly, I ain't black.
White. They'll say they white. Yep.
Mm-hmm. And that's problematic. Mm-hmm. That's very problematic. It's also problematic. He did bring his wife on to use her as a witness Well, hell, we don't speak Spanish. So, whatever he was saying to her, and she was responding, I don't know what the hell that is. And because the attitude was so against Haiti, we couldn't use his Spanish and say, well, we're going to work on the honor system that you're saying something, that's right. We couldn't do that. And then some had even sent me questions, just as Golden Gold said, that his wife is not even black. Now, I don't know. I don't know whether she's black or not. Um, in the video, she looked light skinned. Um, but I don't know. I've never been and seen her face to face. So there's enough evidence for us to say that his behavior is not a black first behavior. And this is why he's not on the panel to this very day. Sister Cassie, you was there. And what are your thoughts on what I just said?
I totally agree. We have to be very careful who our leaders are and who we're connected to. And we have to know that who we're connected to is somebody that we could trust in the battle. Mm-hmm. And like I said, then I would never trust him in the battle. I'm just, if I'm black, I might look Haitian. Haiti. I might look Haitian. I might look Haitian that day. Okay. But I'm just saying we have to be very careful. And if this something, and I know black folk here in America have an issue with black people, but that should not be black first. If you black first, you gonna love your people. You gotta love your people. And yes, we got some coons, but I don't want them to starve, but they can't be a part of the group. You know what I'm saying? But I would never say I want them to starve. I want them to get it. I want them to learn. I want them to get a changed mindset. And if it was a class that they could go to, then please go to that class and then come out of the class. But I want you to go to the class ready to learn and understand why things are the way they are, and not take that mindset into that class and still hold on to that mindset, because that was a waste of time. So we have to be very careful. And even as far as they had the wrong leaders. That dude was, that's and he brainwashed the whole slew of people. Mm-hmm. They come over here, they white. I didn't see them. The light skinned ones, the half white ones, the lighter color ones, and the blacks. I've talked to the darker Dominics, right? Who come over here and tell us what goes on over there. So I'm talking to students that come from there, and they say it's the colorism there. How the whole island is divided. And even if you're Dominic, if you look like me, you're in trouble. But if you the light skinned ones, you're good. No, we got to stop that. But I totally agree with what you were saying.
Exactly. Wow. So in dealing with our topic today, peace is secured through strength. Now, most people would think that we've heard that before plenty of times. We've heard it from the government of America. We've heard it from other governments as well, that peace is secured through strength. But where that actually came from, that actually came out of the Quran, where Allah says that peace is secured through strength, that you're going to have to fight. And you're going to have to protect yourself against the enemies that you see and the enemies that you don't even see. And the best way to do that is to be able to strike at any given time. Yep. And this is something that we have failed to do. We have never, and when I say we have failed to do, I'm meaning us as Black people here in America. We've done it in little pockets, but it's not been ideology, a thought that all Black people taken in and understanding this thought. And at this point in time, we should see the value of it. We should see the value of us being able to fight and fight using what is called guerrilla tactics. We're living in a time now, as you all can see, where Trump is in office and he's dismantling a lot of programs, a lot of policies. He's dismantling museums, especially the African American Museum, that doesn't paint a nice picture, a pretty picture of America, because it talks about our enslavement as a people. Now, they find that to be bad, meaning that it gives America a bad image. But it is the reality. And the reality of America is she's no fucking good. That's the reality. She has committed and continued to commit crimes against humanity. She has continued and she continues to commit genocide. America is a beast. That is an actual fact. Now, other countries knows it. They know how dirty and rotten America is. And you should know how dirty and rotten America is. So the question has to be, what are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it? Because make it known and understood, they are coming for us. This is a fact. This is a fact. We can look at the Carmelo Anthony case. We can look at the O.J. Simpson case. Divided America straight on color lines.
Always have been.
And they have had their coons to jump out from our side to jump on their side and the ya. And they do that even to this very day. When we remember the Shrine of the Black Madonna in Detroit, Michigan, and when they fought the police to a standstill. And that's good. Now, they could have slaughtered the police if everybody in our community bought in on it. Then they could have wiped the damn police strictly out. And that would have been a turning of the tide. That would have been a show of force that had took attention, and every Black person would have been running to say, how do we do what you've done? And then it will be something that is done in each and every major city where we have those type of numbers. We have to understand guerrilla warfare. We're going to go into that today. We have to understand the days of being a pushover, the days of just hollering, no justice, no peace. Them days are over. We have to be able to speak the language that our enemies speak, because that's the only language they understand. Sister Cassie, what's your thoughts on that?
I'm just excited. I don't know. I just, it's so much going on right now. And I'm glad that Trump is doing what he's doing. I'm so glad, because this is giving Black folk a wake-up call. I'm glad. I'm so glad. I'm like, oh my God, please, come on, let's do it. Wake up, whatever it's going to take to wake us up, do it, period. Because I'm telling you, when he talked about that separation, I was like, oh, come on, let's do it. It's almost like we got to be forced away from these crowds. We got to be forced to do for self. We got to be forced to create our own schools. Now, he's taking away your history, but they're not forgetting about the Holocaust. But they'll tell you weren't slaves. They'll tell you were servants. What are you talking about? I didn't come over here volunteering.
Exactly.
Okay. We served you 400 years and plus, and counting, still counting. And you got a whole system set up against us. But you tell us we were servants? No. We're still slaves, even till 2024, still. So now you tearing down the museums. Okay. What we're going to do about it? Like you said, what are we going to do? We're going to build our own. We should be building our own schools right now. We should have been We should be doing that. There's no reason for us to be sitting up here complaining about what this man is doing. Who cares? What are you going to do about it? You see an action, you're supposed to act.
Mm-hmm.
And not just sit up there and complain. You already seen the major, how he went against his own brother.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. You think that wasn't a setup? Oh yeah, but guess what? Everybody rising up on that one across the globe. Everybody rising up for that brother. I ain't never seen a time, and this is a greatest time right now. This is the greatest time ever. I've never seen Black folk rise up for an African ever. Not like we rising up now for him to protect our brother. Because that general went up there and did a whole lot of talking, a whole lot of lying. But it is time for us to understand what that was about. But we're showing them now we're not having it. The old stuff, and we blowing their minds. Because stuff that's happening with Black folk right now has never happened. This is a wake-up call for us, and we're waking up globally. This is starting up a new day right now. Because we did for George Floyd, but they stood up for us, right? But we've never stood up for them. But we're doing it now. That's the best thing I can see. I'm like, whoa, come on, let's do it. Let's go. Whatever it's going to take for us to get it. Whatever it's going to take. But even with that, you still have some Black folk that's going to stand up with them. You still, even when they had that little march on, the 5th of this month, you still had some Black folk that was out there. Wasn't a lot, but you still had some that was hard-headed. You're going to go against your own to stand up with some crackers. They still don't get it. But those are the ones, when they show their hand, those are the ones that need to be handled. No, that's what you're going to do? Okay, this is what we're going to do. Because I know what white folk would do. What they do with Cal Rittenhouse? What they do? Cal Rittenhouse went out there and took care of him, did he?
He sure did.
He walked.
Sure did.
That was he was on the assignment. And he was going to walk doing it. Because they know the assignment. They know you step out of line, we're going to handle you. We're not going to sit up there and let you do what you supposed to do. You're not going to sit up there and come against your own for them. And that's what they were doing. Those three men. He meant to kill 3.
Exactly.
But he underlined 2 and walked. Self-defense, wasn't it? But they was walking away from him. So self-defense, huh? See? So I'm just saying. I'm glad to see what I'm seeing, but I'm super excited to see about this guerrilla warfare. I think people need to understand when to fight, how to fight. You know what I'm saying? What's the triggers?
Exactly.
When do you jump in there? When is it self-defense? When does it stand your ground? What is the steps to understanding that? And this is going to be an exciting show here today. I'm excited about it because it's time to learn, y'all.
Exactly.
Okay.
Definitely. Now, also, let me see, where is this? We came, and I think that was, when we do our study, the program Mayat and I do on Tuesday of the Fall of America, we came across a woman her name is May. And I think May, let me pull her up. Let me pull it up because I don't remember exactly, but I just remember her name is May. And she and her family was still enslaved all the way up into the 60s.
Oh, wow. She must have missed the memo.
Oh, yeah. She missed the memo. She missed a whole lot.
Hey, you didn't see people walking around free?
No,
or did she stay there on purpose?
No, this is how they got tricked. So the father, of course, slavery was over, and the father was thinking that he was buying this house and this land. So they wrote up a contract and say, "Here, go ahead and sign it." He can't read, he don't know, but he signs. And next thing you know, they caught him under the peonage law. And they said, well, he failed to pay this bill, so now, he need to work it off. And kept him and his family on the land. They couldn't run away. They done killed members of the family that tried to run away. And so those people were thinking that this is how it is everywhere. They were thinking that this is how it is everywhere. And so they were raped, they were beat, they were killed.
Wow.
And the father one day ran away. And while he was running away, because he couldn't take it no more, he ran up on some white folks. They were in the little pickup truck, and he explained that he couldn't take it no more, and he's running this, that, and the other. And he's like, well, get in the back of the truck and hide. We're going to take you to safety. We're going to take you to safety. So took him right back to Master's house.
I figured that.
And they beat the shit out of him. Some more. They beat the shit out of him. And so what we need to do and understand is that the same way that they were thinking then,
yes,
is the same way they think right now.
You ain't kidding. I don't know how we gonna get them to understand that. These people will never change. These people will never change because they pass it down from generation to generation. And you may have one person in that family that like black folk, or say he like black folk, okay, or want to marry a black woman. But then you marry and get in that relationship, and you still got the whole family to rob out. Okay, so just because you say love don't have no color, and love who you love, and all that crazy talk, which is ridiculous. And then you marry that person, and then you get stuck in a family that treat your kids crazy, treat you crazy, and you stuck. They will never change.
No,
never.
No, they won't. They won't.
Never.
And can you believe that when this broke out, nobody went to jail?
Yeah, I can believe it.
Nobody went to jail.
That's what happened in Black Wall Street. Black folk didn't buy no bullets. They supplied the white folk with the bullets, and the only people went to jail with black folk.
Exactly. Wow. And this is her, May Louise Miller.
Wow. God, that's crazy.
Yeah.
They just got free in the 60s.
Yeah.
Wow.
And she was raped at 9. And you can, and sometimes if you remember the movie Django, when he said to the 2 black girls to say bye to Miss Mary, or whatever the cracker woman name is, and they said bye Miss Mary, and boom, he killed her too. Right now,
that's the best part.
Well, why did she have to die? She was a nice one. She didn't do nothing wrong.
Oh Lord, crazy! You should have shot her too.
Exactly. She earned that death.
If you didn't understand that, then you dangerous too. Because you'll come against me for them. Because you didn't think Miss Mary needed to die.
Exactly. She earned that death.
She earned that, honey.
In this story, the white woman said to the men, why are you going to rape her? Talking about the little 9-year-old girl. They said, she's not even a heifer yet. She's not even a heifer. And, Miss May didn't even understand what a heifer was.
Wow.
And the men didn't care and raped their ass anyway. And the so-called nice white woman didn't stop them.
Didn't stop.
Didn't say, I'll kill you. You can't rape her. They handled their business.
She was on code.
She was on code. Sister Cassie, and you say that all often. Tell us, what does that mean when you say we have to be on code? What does that look like?
Oh man, that means no matter what, you're gonna stand behind yours. No matter what. Because they stand behind theirs no matter what. I don't care what Kyle Rittenhouse did. It doesn't matter. They're gonna stick behind him. Didn't matter if he was guilty. Didn't matter if he was fighting for his life. Didn't matter if he wasn't. Didn't matter if them guys was running away. They're gonna stand behind him, and that's what they do. And even if you dating them, trust and believe me. That little black boy, remember, he was driving the pickup truck, and they was taunting him, and the little white girl sitting right there, and she said, "I ain't hear him say nothing," and he's going to jail. He went to jail because I think he shot in the truck and killed one of the white girls that was in the truck. There was 2 guys and a white girl, and he shot and killed the white girl and was on trial for that. But she testified against him, but that was supposed to be his girlfriend, right? His right hand man, but it didn't matter because they're gonna stay on code. They're never going to go against each other, just like we did with Anthony. There's no way they would have did that. They don't never do that. We're the only ones that know how to stay on code. I don't even think we know what staying on code means. But it's sticking with your own, backing your own, knowing that you're protecting your own no matter what. No matter what. If y'all got to discuss some stuff on the side, you discuss it at home, but in front of them, you sticking together. That's what remain being on code. That's what it means.
Excellent. And so for debt peonage, I'm going to read this to you. Debt peonage was practiced as an illegal form of contemporary slavery well into the 1950s in Florida, Georgia, and Alabama, and other parts of the Deep South. Civil authorities would arrest colored men off the street in their homes if they were caught not working, charge them with vagrancy, assess fines equal to several weeks of pickers' pay, and compel them to pick fruit or cut sugarcane to work off the debt. Those captured were hauled to remote plantations, held by force, and beaten or shot if they tried to escape.
But remind you now, they wouldn't give them jobs. You already don't have no jobs, right? You're not being hired. It was a whole system they set up against this Jim Crow stuff, a whole system. So how are we going to get them on the vagrancy? We're not going to hire them. So if we don't hire them, they won't have no jobs. So guess what? We get to put them back on the plantation. Even now, we put them in jail. We let them out. We don't hire them. We don't give them a place to live. And guess what? They're going to come back to jail. Because we can't give them a place to live because you got a felony. You won't give them a job, paying no money, but we'll give you $750. But you know that's not enough to take care of your rent, right? When rent is $1,500.
Exactly.
If they give you that right now. Because I see more Mexicans doing black jobs. Well, didn't Trump say the black jobs? I see more Mexicans doing black jobs now than black folk. Black folk with degrees aren't working.
Exactly. And so understanding that and how they use laws to codify what they want to do when it comes to us. Now, these laws that are on the books, let's be honest, the George Floyd anti-lynching law, you don't really fucking need it because it is illegal to kill somebody.
Except you.
Except us. But the law says it's illegal to kill somebody, right? Now, they can enforce peonage. They can enforce that. But when it comes to us, they can't enforce the laws that are already written. Therefore, we got to come up and say, we need the George Floyd law. We need the anti-lynching law. That's already there. But there is no law that has been created, that has been made, that has served us or protect us.
Nope. Because they also have that, remember now, that Virginia law. Remember the Virginia Act, right? That they can murder you while disciplining you, even as a slave. They still using that law because they still see you as slaves. And they can't even be brought up on felonies. That's what's going on today. When the police officer killed the slaves, the slave catchers killed the slaves, they're using that law. They still can't, they still, when they murder you for being, disciplining you because you're running, you're running away from police officers, even though you're not a threat, they still get to walk. They're not going to jail. Very seldom do they go to jail. Once every now and again, right? Botham Jean, she got 12 years. Well, since when you get 12 years for murdering somebody? What the other lady get? The other cop got 2 years. Okay, so come on now. The law still stands. I can't remember the law. I can't remember, but we looked it up before, and it's a Virginia law that says that if you kill a slave while disciplining them, because so many of them women was killing those black babies, that's still a law that they use. Just because they say we don't use it, they can say whatever they want because we have laws on the books. We have a civil rights bill that they don't even use for us. So somebody said, what about a hate crime bill? For what? They're not going to use it for you. They use it for everybody else but you. Every law they have on the book relating to us, which civil rights, is still just like what the Amendment, Third Amendment, say you're not supposed to look like a slave. Fourth Amendment, one of them, you're not supposed to look like a slave, but we still what? I'm just saying they got it on the books, but we're not walking. We're not walking in it. They're not using it for us. So those laws aren't for us. They use it for everybody else but us.
Exactly. And to understand, see, this is like, I think when we're talking about the subject that we're talking about, and our people have to understand, and not just our people, but anybody, right? That we've been through stage after stage after stage and understand that we got nothing for it.
Nothing.
So what the fuck do you expect us to do?
Keep doing what you've been doing. Letting them do what they want to do. And you better not say nothing. You better not breathe. You better not look. You better not say nothing. They have a whole slew of folks trying to kill this young man 22 times. And who's saying that his own people, his own leaders, the leaders that's connected to him won't even say nothing. That's some coward stuff right there. Okay. Where does he go? Where's his protection? So black folk got to rise up globally and protect him. We have to, because his leaders won't. America, nobody, I'm just saying, where's his help? But we know people, we know 22 times they've been trying to kill him, but nobody will say anything. Nobody. But then you have a coon that'll come up there and say, oh, it's because of he's messing with the gold. What's his country? So what? What happened to our gold? Then we go to the gold thing and it was gone. So do we arrest somebody here? Who gets arrested for that? Oh, okay. I'm just saying. Exactly. They can, but we can't. Or we can and they can't.
So this video that we're about to watch is Sister May Louise Miller telling part of her story.
Wow.
Okay, let's watch.
We can't hear
it. We can't hear.
Is it saying something?
Yeah, hold on. We got to fix it.
That's the saddest thing right here.
It really is. But what we're doing, we're building up our case to show what needs to happen and for the understanding. Because look, just as the brother, make sure when you hit the share button, there's a little button on the bottom somewhere should be there, and it says include sound, and you got to hit that button too, so that the sound will come through when you share. What was I about to say? What was I about to say, Sis Cassie?
It's like you have to finish your thought. We so excited we really forgot. My auntie was playing on her end. I wasn't hearing nothing. Was you hearing on your end? But y'all heard it. Okay. She said she heard it. Okay.
Okay, let's try it again.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not hearing nothing.
I wasn't either. Hey, is everybody hearing it, or we just not hearing it over here? I'm gonna see if I'm gonna play it over here on my end. I'm gonna mute us and see if I can hear it on my.
Okay. Yeah.
Modern-day survivor of slavery, May Louise Miller was
born now we can hear it.
In the Deep South in Mississippi, a time and place where slavery had supposedly ended long ago. The Civil War had abolished slavery in the 1860s, but for May and her family, freedom was still a distant dream nearly 100 years later. May grew up working on a plantation, picking cotton, pulling corn, digging potatoes, forced into back-breaking labor with no pay and no way out. For years, May, her sister Annie, and their parents lived as slaves, isolated from the rest of the world. They didn't know about the laws or freedoms that existed beyond the boundaries of the plantation. Like many other black families in the South, they were held in involuntary servitude, a form of modern-day slavery that persisted well into the 20th century.
I came from a very poor family, and we was in slavery. We didn't have food, clothes, shoes. We really didn't have much of nothing. And the clothes we had was a cocoa sack. Each one of us had a cocoa sack with three holes cut in it, and that was your clothes, your shirt, pants, and underclothes, or whatever you want to call it, dress. We had no shoes. We had to kill what we eat. We didn't have a stove. We really didn't even have a house. We just laid on the grass, on the dirt. The hay was our bed, and we covered with the hay was our cover. We laid with snakes. We ate snakes. We ate the crickets. We ate the worms. We ate the birds. We ate the bird eggs. We ate the rabbits. We ate the frogs. We just we were just kind of like Tarzan. Whatever that come in front of you, that was your meal if you caught it. And that was our motto. It was more than me, but I don't call names. But if we caught a worm, each one of us took a bite of that worm. If we caught a cricket, although you think a cricket is dope, but we broke it into pieces that each one of us can have a piece of the cricket. If we caught a fish that unwashed on the bank side, whatever, when we bit it, everybody took a bite.
Plantation owners used threats of violence and the family's lack of education about their rights to keep them bound to the land. May's father, Cain Wall, had been forced into slave labor his whole life. By the time May was born, he was already deep into this grim reality. He knew the dangers of trying to escape all too well. When Annie, May's sister, tried to run away at just 9 years old, she was quickly caught and brought back. Their father's warning echoed through their lives. Baby, don't run away. They'll kill us. Fear kept them trapped. For May, the world outside the plantation was unimaginable. She spent her youth working tirelessly for the plantation owners, living in constant fear of punishment.
They would bring my mother to the house. And when they bring my mother to the house, one of us would have to go with my mother. So the master said. And so this was the particular time that I had to go with my mom. So they raped my mom. And when it came to me, I was sitting there crying because when you don't know what's going on, I was sitting up there crying in this. And so the lady said they coming to me. So the master's wife said to him and the other brothers or whoever they were, and she said, and they was sort of looking, and she said, "Oh no, no, honey, no, no," and she says, "She's not even a heifer yet." I didn't learn what that word was till over in the 70s. And she said, "She's not even a heifer yet. She's just a yearling. You can't." But they gagged my mouth and they raped me just like they did my mama. And Dad was laying in that pile of blood. A little bit of girl didn't know what to do, and his wife had to clean me up. But that never stopped. And I remember telling my mom, if you go tell that old nigger what happened here today, we's gonna kill everybody.
The family was controlled by threats, their lives dictated by the whims of the people who treated them as property, not human beings. The Millers' story, like those of many other African Americans, remained hidden for years. A dark secret that exposed the brutal truth that slavery did not truly end for everyone in 1865. It wasn't until May attended a workshop on slave reparations run by genealogist Antoinette Harrell that her story came to light. May walked into the room and told Antoinette that her father was still alive, 104 years old at the time, and that he could tell stories of their time in slavery, a time that stretched well into the 1960s. May's story is shocking, but not unique. For generations, many black families in rural parts of the South were kept in conditions that were barely distinguishable from slavery. The Jim Crow laws, sharecropping, and other systems of oppression allowed white landowners to maintain control over black workers, exploiting their labor and keeping them in extreme poverty and fear. May Louise Miller's courage in speaking out revealed a hidden chapter of American history, one that shows how deeply rooted the legacy of slavery truly is. Her story is a stark reminder that freedom, even when legally declared, is not always guaranteed in practice. It takes the voices of those who lived through such injustices to remind us that the fight for equality and human rights is ongoing.
Ooh, these hybrids, honey. Ooh, these hybrids. Ooh, honey. They going. Ooh, they going. Ooh, God. I cannot with these people.
Now, to understand some of the things that she said, she talked about that they had to wear a croaker sack. Now, I don't know what the hell.
Isn't that like a potato sack? Like a potato sack?
I don't know.
I'm thinking it's a potato sack, right? Like, you know, would you put like hay in, you know, those sacks? That's what I was thinking. That's what I was thinking when they said a croaker sack. I was thinking like a, you know, a sack of potatoes. You know what you put a sack, like you putting hay in and you putting, you know, you stuffing stuff in. It's just like if it's the right thing that I'm thinking, that stuff is itchy. You know, because it's like a potato. Oh, you know, I'm just thinking, I'm like, what is it for real though? But that's what I was thinking when they said a croaker. Sometimes we just gotta die for, you know, you gotta either fight or die. Seriously, that right there. If I got to live like that, I'm gonna look. We're gonna have to do what we got to do.
Exactly.
Come up in here and, you know, I got to. We're not living like that. So you're gonna kill us or you're not. And it would have been like, okay, this is what we're gonna do, and we all going together. Seriously, we ain't leaving nobody. Exactly. If they come out here after us, we're gonna have to do what we gotta do. I mean, at some point we gotta man up. Seriously, you know, I understand fear, but somebody on that family should have been like, it's time for us to do battle. Seriously.
Exactly.
We're not living like this. They can't even feed you. You grabbing stuff off the ground. You doing this, that, and the other. Ain't nobody living like that. You had a whole father there, lived 104 years. You want to live 104 years a coward? I'm just saying. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be judge Mo. I don't mean to judge Granddaddy, but I think Granddaddy should have, you know, I don't know. I think we're not living like that.
Now, I think it was very interesting when she talked about how they ate.
Yeah.
That they all, you know, ate whatever it had to be, and they all shared.
Yep. All shared
whatever the food was, so that nobody would be hungry.
That's what that is. It's a potato sack. That's what it is.
Wow.
Yep. That stuff itchy. That stuff is like straw. It's like
Wow.
yeah, that's some itchy stuff. You know, you cut your, that was, you know, that was probably the bottom part that's tied up, you know, but you cut your arms out, you probably had a little spot for your head and your arms, but your legs stuck out the bottom. That's a potato sack, but they call it a croaker sack. But yeah, that's a potato sack. But yeah, that stuff is and that's all you wore. That's it.
How you can't even cover yourself with that?
Well,
Maybe
she
a
said
little
she covered
top.
herself with some hay. They didn't get them no covers. She said they didn't even have a house. They was in a barn. What in the world? These people, because I'm telling you, honey, if they don't get it, they got a lot to pay for. I wouldn't even want to be them right now. I wouldn't, because I see it turning right now. Tides is turning right now. What you call it? A burlap, sack. Potato sack, burlap sack, and a croaker sack. It's a sack. Regardless of the sack, it's still a sack. Man, that's crazy. But this is what they do. These crackers, I swear, these are Satan seeds. That's why I call them hybrids. Those are hybrids. Those are Nephilims. Those are Satan seeds. And when people say that we're all the same, we're not. Those are not people. I'm not God. Those are not people. Those are fallen angels, the Nephilim seeds. Those are Satan seeds. Can't nobody would know. They ain't no human treating another human like that. Those are not what those are.
Ain't no way.
A 9-year-old and you just get out of here. And for a dad to see that and a mom to see that and nobody want to hurt nobody, we just gonna sit here and y'all be still. Don't run away. What? Where's your protection for your family? What kind of man is that? You tell me not to run away. You should have been planning for us to run away. I would think. We got some cowards. I mean, come on. I'm sorry. He lived 104 years, but look how he lived. Who wants to live like that? We're gonna either run or we're gonna die. We're gonna take care of them, or we're not living like this. That's not living. You barely surviving just so you can take care of their farm. So you could be raped every night. So you can see your daughter being raped, and you can't do nothing. I'm sorry. I just don't get it. I don't get it. Because I've been looking at him like, what we gonna do?
Now,
what we gonna do?
Let's, because I think we have to examine that, right?
Okay, let's examine it.
Because they were there's this big old fear of I'm going to die, or we're going to die, we're all going to die. Now, you know, me and you, we understand shit. Death is better than this.
Hey,
you know, and shit, I may get you there before you get me there, but we're gonna fight it out.
We gonna get
But in the mind of a slave,
it's time to be free at some point.
A slave. That process. I mean, we see the process, you know, when the police pull up and, you know, be in the house, and it be just one cop and he can do whatever the fuck he want to do. Ain't nobody gonna challenge him, right? So that mindset persists. So I guess we have to be able to see, you know, from their vantage point and then inspire them to action from that level. Right, because it's different levels to everything. So I would think, what would be that first level that you have to inspire them to? Because, you know, we do it all the time. We talk about and we say, look, you're gonna have to kill some crackers. It is what it is. You know, you got a gun, but you're scared to pull it. If the person is white, what the hell are you talking about? You know,
but you would put it on your own.
Exactly.
Use that same energy. The same energy that you would use against your brother. That's the same energy you use for them. But you have, like you said, you have to change this to know that if you come, I'm coming. Or you hurt man, I'm coming. If you try to hurt me, I'm coming. We're gonna have some business. You have to already have that up there. You can't be, you know, have a coward mindset and think you're gonna handle some business. You ain't gonna handle nothing because you're gonna live just like they live. But this is a mindset you're born with. I do believe that. Everybody can't have this mindset. But what's coming? Y'all better start right now praying for that mindset. Because what's coming?
Mhm.
These crackers coming. These hybrids coming. Whether you like it or not. Are you going to be ready? Or are you going to be like Mamie? What's her name, Mamie? What's her
May,
name? May.
May.
You're going to be like
Mhm.
May. And sit there. Because my daddy said, don't fight, don't run. I'm just saying, it couldn't have been Cassie. Cassie would have been like, look, daddy, we need to get together. Now, if you want to stay, you can.
Mhm.
But they had to kill me because I'm not, this is crazy.
Mhm.
It's in the mindset. Everybody, can't, I understand everybody can't think like us, Maurice. I understand that. But even with you'd have been up out of there. Your whole family. I'm just
No
saying.
doubt,
I
without a
understand.
shadow of a doubt.
See, but you have to have that mindset to know that that's not living.
Right.
That's not living.
Mhm.
It's time to, it's time to get busy. It's time to get busy to fight. It's time we're gonna fight, or we're gonna die. Now, which one you want to do? We already dying. You getting raped, you beat every day, you're dying. Every day you're dying. So do you just die one day or you just die for the whole 104 years? Because he never got over that.
Oh yeah. Never.
He's still dealing with that 104 years later. Probably thinking, oh, I wish I could have, should have, would have, and I sure wish I had did this. But dude, look what you taught your daughter.
Mm-hmm.
You taught her how to be a coward. Because we don't run if daddy don't run. What if Harry Tubman had not have ran?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? At some point, you have to do better. You have to learn better. You have to know better. You have to do better. And when you do better, when you know better, you do better. I mean, I'm sick of seeing what I see now. So you develop, foundations and you develop things that can help. You can't do everything, but you at least do something. But I don't know. Maybe I'd look at stuff different.
The one of the things that stood out to me, and I had just heard, and I watched this video before, but I didn't hear this the first time that I watched it. He said her story is not unique.
There's more.
Is not unique. Yeah.
There's more.
There's more. There's more. They
got us.
Family.
Mm.
And it's a hard truth, right? It's a hard truth that this did happen to our people. This is a hard truth that we got to swallow, but it's also a hard truth that we got to understand that this is a reason why we got to fuck them up. It's just what it is, because they looking to do it again.
Oh, you better believe that. You better believe that.
Mm-hmm.
You better believe they coming.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm telling you what, and it's not gonna be long.
Mm-mm.
Y'all can sit there if you want to. Y'all, just like they was talking about them Florida fields. They was mad at black folk because we wasn't out there in the fields. What the hell you talking about? I'm not going to your field. You better pick your own strawberries if you want to eat none.
Exactly.
Because they said the Mexicans, they had the Mexicans in the field. Now the Mexicans gone, so they looking at black folk talking about, hey, whoa. No, nothing. Send your child out there.
Mm-hmm.
You go out there and pick your own strawberries. You want some strawberries.
Mm-hmm.
I don't give a damn. You'll never eat a strawberry, another strawberry. You won't be picked by me.
Exactly. Exactly. Mm-hmm. And this is another video. Now, when he said, this is not unique, this video that we're about to watch is not May's story. This is a different person. And so let's listen to this and see how this one goes.
I remember now when we didn't. I've been knowing you so long.
I know it is a long time. That's right.
A lot, but
I've still got the record though of you doing the song "Gossip, Evil Thing."
You
gave me the first time you came here. Yes.
Is that so?
I've still got that record.
Well, then that's a long time ago.
It has been a long time ago.
Now, mind you, the relationship is slave owner and slave. That's their relationship, slave owner and slave.
College or after college?
No, it was after college.
After college.
Yeah,
I finished.
But it was before you started doing the old deacon and amen.
Oh my, yeah, because
Yeah.
oh yeah, I knew you long before
Oh
then.
yeah. Yeah, that's right.
Uh, I finished college in 1929.
Oh,
Yeah,
well,
I
well,
was.
I would have been fairly young then. I would have still been 16.
You were?
Yes,
No,
in
yeah. Well,
1929, I would have been 16.
that was after that.
Oh yeah, it was
Yeah,
long after
yeah,
that.
long after that, because I went to
I
school
think it really was after the Second World War when I came
after
home.
Second
Yeah,
World
that we
War.
met,
Yeah,
but it was
yeah,
soon after that.
yeah.
Jester, what is it like for you to come back to this plantation?
Well, this is my first time here at this plantation, and I was just trying to ask Peter some questions about this because I never saw it before, and here I am trying to.
Oh, Jester, you stayed here once before. Do
I
you?
did?
Yes, you did. You used to tease me about taking my bed because you came to Knoxville to conduct a choir. You were having some sort of a symposium or something down in at Pfeiffer College, and you came to
Oh,
Lexington,
I
and
remember
then
that.
you came
Yeah.
back here and stayed with me here.
Stayed
But
with you
but
there.
but you've been here before that, long
Oh, I
before that.
didn't know that. I'd forgotten it. You see.
Well,
Now
okay.
that's good
We have to
for someone
we have to make people remember when they get to be
remember
90.
like that. Yeah, I didn't know that.
That's right.
Because this looked like the first time I've ever seen such a beautiful place. And I was thinking, here I am on an old plantation of the Hairstons that used to own my grandparents.
That's
see.
right.
And all my on my father's side, the Hairstons, they all grew up here along with Squire, like
That's right.
before Squire's time, but they were all part of this plantation.
Well,
He doesn't make you call them Harston.
No, they were Hostons, but I grew up in Pennsylvania, where we
I
said
tell you,
Hairston.
the Yankees taught him wrong how to mispronounce it.
Yeah, yeah, we were called up in Pennsylvania. I grew up in a little town outside of Pittsburgh called Homestead, Pennsylvania, and that's when I was in first and second grade, all up there in that little town in Homestead, and we said Hairston up there, you see, like Yankees, but I didn't know the Hostin name. My mother used to say Hostins when she tell us about her husband,
That's right.
Lewis Hostin,
Mm-hmm.
and she used to talk about we were Hostins.
Well, yesterday we found some of your cousins over at Blues Creek.
Yeah, over there at Blues Creek.
Where you were born.
Okay, so that video you have, the white man is the slave owner family and the black man is the slave family. Now, there's no way in the world I'm going to get together with a bastard who had my family as a slave, and I'm going to be sitting there next to you having a good old conversation like we best friends. What in the world kind of bullshit is that? Now, you would never find no fake Jew sitting next to no goddamn German and having no good old conversation. If this motherfucker done burned my people up, I'm going to have a conversation with you? We're going to be sitting and talking and he laughing? What kind of foolish is that?
That's some black folks. That's the Moses generation, honey. That's some crazy stuff. That's way back in the day. That don't make no sense. I can't even understand that. I couldn't even enjoy the conversation because it was the dumbest thing ever. You just having a good old conversation, just like they best friends. The hell?
Exactly.
How do you do that? How do you do that? That's just, I guess, that's that Christian mentality. That's what we come back to. Love everybody, no matter what. Turn the cheek, let them slap the hell out of that one. Then you turn it back over there and let them slap that one. Then you turn it again. Well, how many times you gonna turn it?
Exactly.
How many times you gonna turn it?
Exactly. Mm-hmm.
I don't understand that, man. I don't understand that. That was not even a fun conversation right there. And they just like, ooh, they was having a good old time.
Yeah.
How? I guarantee you the shoe was on the other foot. This is a halftime. A lot of times I look at this stuff and I go, if the shoe was on the other foot. If the shoe was on the other foot.
That's right. Shit, I'm gonna tell you what boy say in Django. He said, I don't know how y'all ain't kill all of us. Because that's real.
Exactly. Ain't that something?
Yeah.
That's the question of the year. You know how many black folk it was and how many it was of them running one plantation? They probably had 5 people and you had 100, 200 slaves. Are you out of your damn mind? Nobody thought about taking the whole family out. Nobody thought about that. What? And then go to the next plantation, do the same thing. And keep on going. What?
Exactly.
You just have a whole night of just having a good old time. And nobody thought about that. Because it wasn't that many people. It sometimes was a family, right? Like 5 people. Then you might have had 2 overseers, but you had a whole 100 slaves. And that's how they control people, fear. Because it wasn't enough for them.
No, it wasn't.
Fear is something else, honey. Fear is something else.
Exactly. And that's something we got to understand. And that's why the God said, I did not give you the spirit of fear.
That's right. Come on now.
I gave you the spirit of love.
Strong. Come on now.
And a sound mind.
Sound man. Strong man. Sound man.
Exactly. All right. So this video is a little longer, but the information that we're going to talk about it afterward leads us right into where we need to go for guerrilla warfare. Okay, so let's listen to this.
My daddy, the whole family, was held against their will. If you did leave, they either come get you or have somebody kill you, whatever. Jerry Dawson, he lived around the same place we lived on. He left. They went and got him, brought him back, carried him right down there from his house, killed him, hung him up in a tree, castorized him, and hung him up right from his house where his children, everybody could see him. I'm pretty sure it's 55, 56 when this happened.
Most of us think that the end of the Civil War in 1865 closed the chapter on slavery in the American South, but that's far from the truth. Over the next 100 years, generations of Black Southerners were forced to labor against their will. This new form of slavery happened in the shadows of the first half of the 20th century, and even though the civil rights movement began advancing racial equality in the South in the 1950s, these practices continued secretly, making it a difficult history to prove. Today, there's one woman who's dedicated her life to finding this lost history of Black identity. She's been called the slavery detective of the South.
Okay, so
we're currently in Louisiana.
Mind you, what the title was, and understanding that after your freedom, you're still enslaved. After freedom, slavery. It ain't nothing changed. Ain't nothing changed. Now, this family is May's story. The woman we started out with, this is her family and their story that we're about to go all the way in. And you'll see how devastating the so-called life that you can't even really call that life. You can't call that life that they were going through. All right, let's continue.
About to meet Antoinette Harrell, who specializes in finding cases of essentially modern day slavery. We're really deep in the South right now. It's super swampy and super rural. I was actually born in Boston and moved to Atlanta, Georgia, like early on in my childhood, but I've never been out this far deep into Louisiana. I'm very interested in connecting with Antoinette and learning more about her work. Hello, Antoinette. Hi. Nice to meet you.
Pleasure meeting you.
Antoinette was born and raised in Louisiana, and even though she lost her leg to cancer a few years ago, that hasn't slowed her down from what she sees as a mission of justice, tracking down and verifying cases of slavery and abusive labor practices that happened after the Civil War. Sometimes she gets leads from newspaper clippings, old FBI reports, or recorded testimonies, and sometimes she just gets a phone call.
I got scared because I seen how they beat some of the boys. They beat people to death in there.
Mike, I appreciate you not taking this story to the grave with you. I know it hurt. I know it's very painful. And the state of Florida can't pay you all enough. But I'll be in touch with you shortly.
A few of Antoinette's investigations have been used in court cases for reparations, though sometimes the end goal is simply to give people knowledge of their family roots, which for a lot of Black Southerners is something that slavery erased.
Let me first tell you how I got started with this. Researching my own family history. My family was held as slaves. Well, in 1863, my family was emancipated, and my family did become sharecroppers. Robert Harrell became a sharecropper under the system of sharecropping. The planter and the newly freed former slaves came into an agreement. I will furnish you with the seeds, with the land, a place to stay. In return, you would give me a portion of the crops. Well, not everyone did the right thing.
Although sharecropping was technically legal, the practice was widely abused by white landowners who used debts to keep African Americans tied to the land that they once worked as slaves. Sharecroppers didn't pay rent, but they didn't own any property, and today, historians agree sharecropping was just slavery by a different name.
So many former enslaved Africans had nothing. They had no choice. At the end of the year, you owe me. No matter how hard you work, you are told, sorry.
And those cases relate directly to your cases today.
Right. After slavery, these are like 1921, 1930, 1940s, the 50s, and some of them to the 60s.
Antoinette's very first case was May Louise Miller, a woman who was held as a slave with her entire family in Mississippi until 1961. Though May passed away in 2014, Antoinette took us to see one of her brothers, Arthur Miller.
May and Arthur being two of the older sisters and brothers, they remember a lot. It took a long time before Arthur really opened up and talked.
We lived on, I don't know what would you call it, but something like a plantation to me. It belonged to several different white people. They all were family, I guess. And you couldn't leave. And if you did leave, they either come get you or have somebody kill you, whatever. That's what happened. They did my mama bad.
What'd they do to your mother?
They just had my mother, the white men. They just do what they wanted to do with them. And I just wasn't big enough to do nothing. If I would have been, I don't know, probably wouldn't be.
And this was in the 1950s or 40s?
That was on through the 40s, in the 50s, all through the 50s, and part of the 60s.
So what would the repercussions be if you tried to leave or if you tried to refuse what they wanted?
Back in them days, it was kind of like you had to do what the white man said or get killed. My daddy's uncle, he made him dig a grave and killed him. Kill him, buried him in his own grave. Jerry Dawson, they killed him. He lived around the same place we lived at home. He left and said he wasn't coming back. They wouldn't got him, brought him back, carried him right down there from his house, killed him, hung him up in a tree.
They hung him?
They killed him first, castorized him, and hung him up right from his house where his children, everybody could see him.
Were you aware that this is 1940s, 1950s, that this is insane. Arthur, this breaks my heart to hear this story. Growing up, were you fully aware, this is in the 40s and 50s, the civil rights movement is just about to begin. Were you aware of what was going on in the rest of the country at that time for Black people pursuing freedom?
No.
You weren't aware at all that there was any pursuits for freedom in the 40s and 50s for us?
No, not really. Not really, because I think maybe like in 65, 66, then they was doing that marching. That's when I really found out. The people are scared to talk about it. It's people right now y'all go to talk to. They won't talk with y'all about this here.
Mm-hmm.
They're scared to do it. They got that fear in them,
How could something like this happen?
A lot of these places that was in very isolated rural areas, it was easy. I mean, you had the opportunity to ride through some of these areas and you saw for miles and miles, there's absolutely nothing.
You think, like, how can somebody not just escape these type of conditions? And once you actually are out here, you see there is nothing but cotton fields and crops and long strips of road where can you fathomably go? It's insane to see how you can be trapped on this land on so many different levels, whether it be economically, physically, and even mentally.
So he asked a very good question. How could you not know that the rest of Black America was fighting for freedom, fighting to get loose from this? And he said, we didn't know. That automatic, when he said we just didn't know, it reminded me of Willie Lynch, where Willie Lynch talked about cutting off all avenues where that light doesn't enter the slave's mind.
Right.
And that's just, we just saw it play out right there. We just witnessed exactly what he just said. We witnessed it right there. They cut off all avenues of light getting into him. He had no idea.
There was so much fear, could nothing else get in. And even if somebody had came to them and told them, they still probably wouldn't have moved. They probably would have. You know how some Christians, you try to tell them, "Hey, who this is da da da," and they, I don't want to hear it, and they stay where they are.
Exactly. Yeah, hold on, Golden. It's coming on. We still rocking. We still rocking. All right, we can pick up with the video.
We're calling on the world in terms of righteousness, reparations.
Antoinette's work for Arthur's family got the attention of a lawyer in 2001, and they became part of a class action lawsuit for reparations.
Hold on, Maurice.
But ultimately, the Supreme Court
going on.
Hold on. What's wrong?
I'm looking. Did they take us off? You guys, do you still see us? Suspended for policy violations. Okay, I'm seeing stream unavailable.
Oh, that's us now?
That's us now. So let's see what's going on. It says suspended policy violations. So let's see if they're gonna let us get back on.
Oh wow.
They always do this. Oh God, they get on my nerves with this. You see it?
I'm trying to pull it up.
Earth Angels, can you see us? Boy, they sure don't want to hear our history, do they? Suspended for okay, man.
So they done kicked us off?
They didn't kick us off.
Ain't that some shit?
Ain't that boy, I tell you, they gonna do. Yeah, it says stream unavailable. So why don't you go in and see what part they considered violating and then take it out? Okay, Maya says she can still see and hear us. Really? Because I'm looking at it now. Let me go out and come back in then. Yeah, because this is what I got. I just went out and came back in. How are you seeing us, Maya?
Yeah, because
did you go up under there?
Yeah, I'm going up under there too, and I there's nothing there.
Nothing.
I was wondering what was happening with our numbers. Wow.
Man.
Let me check this.
Because you have the link. I was looking under the broadcast. Email. The screen is black, and on my end, it's saying they got suspended for. Okay, because. Okay.
What? Because
because I'm on the thing now, the site now, and I just pulled in and it's still black. So maybe you can go in and see what part they consider violating and maybe clip that part.
And see, and that's the thing, because I don't even see how they can say it's violating if they're trying to say, fair use thing.
So she's saying it's on her desktop, but not the computer. Let's check the desktop. Let me see.
Wow. Okay, she said we're back on now. And the mill say we coming off and on. See, I'm still showing us off. Oh boy, oh boy. Let's see. Desktop is good.
Whatever you just did, it came up and then it went back off, even on the computer. What did you hit something and it came up?
Yeah, on my computer it's saying it's off.
When you clicked on something and it went off and then it came back up and then it went off again.
Oh wow.
We came up for a second. How about if can we go out and come back in maybe?
Go out of StreamYard and come back in?
And come back in maybe, or no?
No, I don't think that's gonna, because off and on myself.
She said desktop is fine. How are you getting it up, Laya?
Yeah, because I can't get it up on my phone or
I can't get it on my computer. I couldn't get it up either. Man, I tell you, this is crazy. This is so sad.
Wow.
How are they hearing us talk then if it's off?
Yeah.
Can you guys hear us? How are they hearing us talk? There's no picture, but you can still see us? Is that what you're saying? Can you guys still hear us talking? Because we've been off a minute and they've been answering in the chat. So how was that happening? That's weird.
Yeah. And I'm looking to see, but I didn't get no information.
Hey, it just came up for a minute. It came up and went back off.
Wow.
It just came up and it. Too bad I don't have desktop. Okay. Emil, can you hear us talking now? Yeah, it says stream unavailable even on. It's horrible on you. It's on YouTube. It keeps popping up here on my phone. It keeps popping now. It keeps popping up and going off. I don't know why it's doing that.
I don't. I'm in the YouTube studio, and it's not even listed in there at all.
Oh wow.
Yes.
So they're not even going to tell us what the violation is, huh?
Nope.
Or these demons. I'm sick of them. I'm so sick of the answers. I don't know what to do. I'm sick of them. Because it's still not coming up for us. On the mobile app. That's true. Boy, I tell you, they don't want that truth out, boy. It keeps popping up and then it goes back out. So I don't know what they doing. They just messing with us now.
Yeah, they are. It's not even popping up on my end at all.
Okay, Earth Angel said she just heard me for a minute. So y'all keep coming on and off on several occasions, but for the most part on my end, the screen is black and there's a disclaimer that says stream suspended for policy violations. And then Maya says she hears us loud and clear on desktop. How? I don't know how. I guess if you want to keep on, you can. Maria says she can hear it. Can anybody else hear us besides Maya? Emil say he can't. Huh. This is crazy. Now I see us on my phone and then went out. This is crazy. I'm friendly. I'm waving and everything. This is so stupid. I just seen us. We popped up and then we went off. And this is crazy. Oh my God. I'm so sick of these demons. I wish somebody would create our own platform. I swear. Because this is ridiculous. They can talk about whatever they want to. They can call us black folk, call us niggas, call us whatever they want to, and no problem. But then you come over here and want to educate your people, then there's an issue. Lord, that's crazy. Yeah. So I guess you will find out later what the problem is.
Yeah.
We need a backup channel. Can you create a backup channel?
Yeah.
We need a backup channel. So if something happened to this, we can come off of here and go to the backup channel.
Exactly.
Because this right here shouldn't be interrupting. This shouldn't be
happening. No, it shouldn't. But you know, this is a part of warfare. This is a part of warfare. It really pisses me off, but this is a part of warfare. Their job is to stop us from being able to communicate, cutting the people off from us. This is a part of warfare.
This is crazy. This is what they do. This is part of warfare. And but this shouldn't be happening. We should have our own, just like I was looking at the NFL thing, right? And I said it's just so sad at how long we've been in NFL and playing baseball and basketball. We don't have our own teams. These black folk who has played for years could have had their own team. And you still sitting up here whining about, because I think what's the guy name whose son has not been picked? But that's for a reason. But we don't understand that that's still a control mechanism. And we have allowed them to keep that control mechanism in place, which is sad. Because all these times we could have had our own music, our own TV. He said, Maya says, back off.
No, we're back on.
And then she said we was back. She said we was on the cell phone, and then we back off now. But my thing is, this shouldn't be. We should have our own stuff right now. We shouldn't be kicked off nothing for our freedom of speech. What happened to freedom of speech? We should be able to produce lawsuits on this stuff like this. Because this right here is freedom of speech. If we're not hurting anybody and we're talking about our history, yes, of course, you're going to get bothered by it, but this is still our history and it still happened. So nothing that we're talking about is lies because we're showing you the vision. We're showing you the video. So this right here is ridiculous and it keeps popping on and off. For what reason? Either you're going to let us play it or you're not.
Exactly.
These crackers is horrible. Horrible people. And they ain't gonna never change.
Never.
And this ought to let you know. Stop marrying them, stop mixing and mingling with them because you're creating enemies for my granddaughter.
Exactly. Something that we have to really get in our system and understand.
Yes. We have to. We need to be separated. This right here, this should never be happening. We should have our own thing now. By now. How many times black folk get kicked off and we still have not developed our own?
Exactly.
We need to let them have their stuff and we need to develop ours. Seriously.
What's that say? God bless the child that has his own.
You ain't lying. And we keep sitting up here begging them to, hey, let us tell our truth. Let us speak our truth. No, you can't speak your truth. It's lies. Well, it's not that we're showing you the video, dummy. It's not a lies. It's educational purposes only. And maybe we need to start saying that. What we're talking about is educational purposes. And I see us back on now. And then it went off. Boy, these people are terrible. They popping us on and then popping us off.
And this is why, we got to understand that there's no getting along with them.
There's none whatsoever. None. Not ever. Fair use. Yes, fair use. We need to start saying that. Fair use and only educational purposes. We got to put a disclaimer up there.
And I watch this stuff on other people's channels that ain't the original channel, and they don't have no problem. They play it, no fucking problem. No issue whatsoever.
None.
We do it as a goddamn problem. We do it as a fucking issue. These bastards. These are bastards, 1000%.
Now we're back on. I see us.
Well, hopefully, how long is they going to allow us to stay back on?
Yep, we back on fair use, you guys. Fair use. Everything we say is entertainment purposes only. We need to read the fair use disclaimer. What's the fair use disclaimer? I tell you, boy, I hope somebody hear this and we need our own platform. I'm looking for some developers so we can create our own platform.
Yeah, we do.
Seriously, because this is ridiculous. We should be able to speak our truth, and if we show video, that means it's truth. So it's nothing that we're saying is lies. Everything we've shown so far has been truth. So what part don't you want us to talk about? So copyright, fair use, copyright. Okay, it says fair use is a legal doctrine that allows limited use of copywritten material without permission for purposes like criticism, comments, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. It is an exception to copyright laws, not permission to use any copywritten work without the owner's consent. But you can use it for commenting and comments, criticism, and news. And what we're doing here is strictly fair use.
These damn bubble bastards.
Well, you know what? You get to a point where you expect it, because our truth, the stuff that they did, and we bring it up because they want to forget it, then this is what happens. But it doesn't affect me or offend me because we know who we're dealing with. We know who we're dealing with, and they will never change. So this is why you have to get, but if you have your own platform, then we can do what we need to do. And that right there, when we see this keep happening, we need to develop our own. That's all.
Exactly. Because this is the reason why Trump is shutting down the African American museums. They don't want the knowledge out.
But how can it be lies if it was done to us and we just bringing it to the forefront so we don't never forget? We'll never forget it. We make sure our children don't, because he told us teach our children so that they won't forget. And that's what we're doing. That right now, this is what we're doing. This is educational purposes only. So from now on, this is what it is. It's educational purposes only.
Boy, oh boy.
But this is going to force us to do what we need to do.
Exactly. This is exactly what it's going to do. And we're going to definitely get it done. So since they're not going to let us play the video, in that video, her brother that we saw talking still lives on the plantation land. He's still there. The owner of the now land talks on video. And I don't remember the words verbatim, but the black guy that's doing the interview walks in the house and he sees the Confederate stuff up there on the wall and stuff. And the white boy is proud about it, talking about this, talking about that. And he calls the black dude what did he call him? Somebody be bullshitting, even tell y'all something that ain't true, some shit like that. But the fact of the matter that this white family still have their wealth.
Wow, that's crazy. So nobody brought charges, nobody sued nobody did nothing, huh?
They sued whatever the company is. The black people sued whatever the company is and lost.
Okay. Whoa.
And lost. Yeah, they lost.
Wow.
But they didn't sue these white folks.
Right. How do you not sue the white folks? How do you sue? How? What company are you suing? What company are you suing? That didn't make no sense.
Exactly.
It's the people that did it to you is who you're supposed to be suing.
Exactly. So, in thanks, Mayat, he said that the black man was full of shit.
Wow, ain't that something? Ain't that something? Because I might not say so.
Exactly.
And who's gonna believe you and not me? You think they're gonna believe you before they believe me? That's all that is. So no matter what the black folk is telling you, no matter what they lived through, and no matter what the young woman may come and tell you, you still want to tell him he's full of shit, right? Okay. But guess what? We know that you're full of shit.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna believe my brother. Because we know what type of people you are. We know what we're dealing with. Exactly. And we know you'll never change. Never change. And so as we look, and I wanted to be able for everybody to see that, because it's very important that you understand what was done in the modern time. Because most people think, oh, that's slavery back 1865, we're so much beyond that. No, nigga, this was just yesterday. Well, look at your prison system today. Exactly. That's modern day slavery right now. And then I wanted us, because when we look at the Vietnam War, right? And America, look at the Vietnam people, they beat the French and they beat the Americans, right? I wanted us to be able to look at guerrilla warfare through that lens, because nobody thought that the Vietnam would be able to win. Nobody thought Ho Chi Minh and the boys was going to be able to come down and whoop America and whoop France. See, when Ho Chi Minh and the boys beat France, America should have said, let's not get involved. But they said, the fuck? How they going to beat our brothers? No, now we got to go and we got to stand up. And they got whooped again. We're going to take everybody and got your ass whooped. Again. And so understanding guerrilla warfare is very, very important, because that's how the Vietnam or the Viet Cong, that's how they won. Not only that's how they won, but other people won their wars by using guerrilla tactics as well. And this is something that we got to understand. There they go again. We cut again? Yep. God damn. Boy, oh boy. So they just don't want this message to come out. These people at all. Are terrible. These people. They don't want them. It ain't got nothing to do with damn copyright. That's what it is. They don't want this out. But we're going to get it out anyway. Right. We're going to get it out anyway. We're going to start using our what is that channel? We have another platform. We have another platform. What is that damn thing called? Is it Roku? No, is it? No, they okay, we're back. We're back. Yep, we're back. Okay, perfect. This is crazy. I guess they go, ooh, he's hybrids. You know what? You can't do nothing but laugh at these demons. Ooh, your time is limited. Your time is limited. said you better enjoy this while you can.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, your time is limited, buddy. But
Mm-hmm.
you enjoying it now, aren't you? Okay. We're gonna get the last laugh, I guarantee you that. Rumble.
Mm-hmm. Wow.
Doesn't seem to okay, we're going again. Doesn't seem to have a censor. We should have Rumble. We should do Rumble.
Yeah, that's the name of it I was thinking about.
Okay.
But we have we got a channel on Rumble. We're gonna start using it.
Okay. We need to.
We're gonna start
Because
using
we win again.
Motherfuckers.
You know what? You have to laugh at them demons. You have to laugh at them demons. Laugh at them. Strictly educational purposes, fair use, and you still won't act fool because you can.
Yeah.
Okay. How about that? Oh Lord, I guess they thought, okay, well, we're gonna just, we're gonna keep playing with them, huh? It's okay. It's okay because your time is limited. You're done.
Exactly.
Maybe we'll talk about the guerrilla warfare next time because I think, and you know what, I should be telling you, I'm going out of town next Sunday, and I'll be gone for 2 Sundays because I'm not coming back until that Monday. But I might still do it that Sunday. I don't know when I'm there, but I don't know. I'll let you know because I know I'll be traveling next Sunday, but I might do it the next Sunday before I come back. So we'll see. Maybe.
Definitely.
But yeah. So I'll be traveling next Sunday. So
okay. So yeah, y'all. If y'all, I don't know, we may still be off, but we will be moving to Rumble.
Rumble. What's the channel name on Rumble? Maybe we can put it in the chat.
Yeah, let me see.
Or after your video is done, I don't know if you'll be able to, put any comments in here. I don't know if they're gonna let it even play a little bit. What do you think? Or maybe you can do a video after this one and tell them what we're getting ready to do.
Exactly.
When you get done with this one, you come back on and say, hey, we were, disconnected. To, whatever reason. And we'll be on Rumble. Yeah, I got cut off again. Yeah, we did. They ain't messing with us. They try to upset somebody. You can't let these crackers get you upset. They like that. They like that. But it's up to us to come up with something new,
Exactly.
I mean, we could do Facebook, but that's probably the same thing, though. We probably get cut off there too.
Well, most definitely.
Yeah.
Most definitely. And then I'm going to also work on get this website up. So hopefully we'll be able to go live from the website.
Yeah.
I think that would be the best thing. I think that would really be the best thing. Well, then nobody would control us.
Because this right here, we should have been done this long time ago. Sometimes stuff is done to us and we just sit there and accept it when we don't have to. And they just keep on, until we do what we need to do. And sometimes this is y'all's way of forcing us to do what we need to do, period. Just like the, football. Now we're back on. Just like, so I guess now we went back off. They flick you on and then they flick you off. But it's just like the football players, they should have their own leagues and don't. And that this right here with Deion's son, this should teach them something. And maybe now Deion, would get some boys together and create their own league. Because without black boys on the league, you're nothing. And that's what we don't understand. Exactly. So if you pull everybody off and create your own, then what they got?
Nothing whatsoever.
Ain't no white folk come see no white folk play football.
No. Not at all. Not at all. So, Sister Cassie, can you search real quick on Rumble and see if you can find the mercy seat?
The mercy seat?
Mm-hmm.
We back on for now. Oh, went off again. I know these people that, Lord, these demons and devils. Rumble. Let's see what Rumble is talking about. Let's see, Rumble. BLE. Let's go and see where's Rumble. Okay, I see Rumble. And you say the mercy seat? The mercy seat or just mercy seat?
The mercy seat.
The mercy. MERCY SEAT. Okay, let's see. I see B1 mercy seat. Yep, I see mercy seat.
Okay, good.
Hold on, let me see. Is this you though? Is it going to say B1 or what's it going to say?
It may say B1. I'm not.
Is it time is 1-1? Is that it?
No.
No. Okay. Let's see who else. Hold on. Let me go back in there.
Okay. So Maya
I
says.
see, hey, I see B1 first.
Okay, then click on that. Maybe that's it.
Okay. Let's see. Follow. I'm following you.
Yeah.
And yep,
That's
right
it. Okay. Yep. Yep.
But
Yep.
it's B1, not Mercy Seat. So is it under?
Okay. So okay. So y'all can go to Rumble on and look for B1.
Yeah.
B1. And we should come up, and we will be broadcasting from Rumble.
Yep, you're on there.
Okay.
But I didn't see Mercy Seat. So is that you also, Mercy Seat?
Yeah, because I'm looking at the Rumble channel, and it says my channel name is the Mercy Seat.
Oh, okay. So I don't see.
I
see B1.
You see B1.
I didn't see Mercy Seat. Link. Look under Rumble. Are they on Rumble? I see. You see Mercy Seat. Okay, you see Mercy Seat and B1. I just seen the B1. So which one you want, Mercy Seat? You're gonna do Mercy Seat or B1? I think maybe B1 because that's what we're used to.
Yeah.
And I just hit follow.
Mm-hmm.
Then you just got to sign into it, you guys. Username or your email address and password, and then create one. I'm going to create an account. Let me see if I can see. Let me try to see if I can see because B1 pops up first. Okay. So let me see if I can get Mercy Seat in here. The Mercy Seat. Hold on. Man, I forgot I was cooking something. Give me 2 seconds. Hold on.
Okay. So Neil said he just followed on Rumble. All right. So okay, so we definitely 4 followers and 12 videos. Correct. So we'll definitely have all of this stuff figured out because we have a program, our Tuesday program. Yeah, we're not live on Rumble right now. So I have to learn how to set it all up. It should be the Mercy Seat. It should be the Mercy Seat. But we'll have all of this stuff figured out because our Tuesday program, we got to be live for that. So hopefully they did not put a strike on the channel where we can't go live at all from YouTube, but we'll have that Rumble channel up and ready, and I'm going to try to figure out how to go live from both spots at the same time so that we can have our continuation to go on. But yeah, and then we'll also be working on a website where we can just stream live from there and don't never have to worry about somebody shutting us down. Because once we own our own, then we are capable of doing whatever the hell we need to do and saying whatever in the world we want to say. But this is war, right? And so in war, you want to be able to cut off the enemy's communication. So they understand that we are their enemy. So they want to cut off our communication to reach the people. And this is what they do. They've done it before when the channel, we were up at 4,000 followers. We were at 4,000 followers, and they clipped that channel and made it so hard that the people couldn't even find us back again. And so every time now, when we get to the 500 mark on YouTube, they cut the channel. So we're at 446 right now. So they're going to cut it again as soon as we get that 5. But we're going to go ahead and let everybody go since we're not being able to stay up. But look for Black First on Rumble. Yeah, definitely Earth Angel. That's what we're getting everything together. But look for us on Rumble under B1 because that's where you should be able to find us. Look for B1. If you can find the Mercy Seat, that should be us too. And like I said, we'll get started on this website so that we'll be able to come live, do a live right off of there and don't have to worry about getting canceled or anything like that. But this was a serious topic, and they understand exactly what peace through strength means. And, first I thought it was just the video, but when I began to get into the example of Vietnam and how France and America lost, and they lost by using guerrilla tactics, then they cut us again, and then that let me know for sure. No, they understood this message that we were about to deliver today, and they didn't want that to come out. But it will come out. Trust and believe. We will definitely have that out because it's important and it's time now. It's time. We got to organize and be prepared because this is warfare. This is warfare. This is what we do. This is what they do. And they will pay for it. They will pay for it. Sister Cassie, your closing comments?
Let this be a lesson, you guys. Let's learn from this. Let's not keep doing the same thing over and over and over. When we see that they're useless and we see they ain't worth a damn, when we see that we have to cut loose and we have to separate, just like Trump said, it's time to separate. It's time to separate. It's time to do our own thing. It's time to have our own schools. It's time to have our own, educate our own children. It's time to do everything our own. Let's stop depending on them. Let's stop sitting up there waiting on them to do the worst harm to you before you move. We see how they are. We know how they are. They will never change. We see that. Let's stop giving them chances. We've given them chance after chance after chances. Somebody said, hey, you want to take it back to where it was? Yes, let's take it back to where it used to be, where it shouldn't have never left. Because we had our land. We had our hospitals. We had everything on our own. We had everything. We need them for anything, and we don't need them for anything now. And I'm glad that what they do in Africa, they didn't cut Africa off. I'm so glad. Now you can grow and you can do for self and stop relying on them. People don't understand that the Most High is bringing this thing all the way back to where it never should have left. And that's black on black, black with black, and black depending on black. Because you can't depend on them for nothing. Because who said if you depending on man for your last breath, if you depending on man for your last breath is what? Who said that? Malcolm? I wish we could play that. Malcolm said that, right? If you depending on man for your last breath is dangerous. Wasn't that Malcolm? You ain't never go wrong.
Yep.
And we back. Ain't that something for a minute? But I just want us to understand that Rumble is where we're going to be from here on out. B1 first is what it's called on Rumble. And sometimes we have to, when you see when you see people doing what they do, because this is what we expect from them, you go head on and you let them have their platforms. And this is what black folks should have been done. This is nothing. This is how they are. They have their ball. They let you play for a minute. They take their ball and go.
Mhm.
Or because you ain't shooting it the way they want you to or bouncing it the way they want you to, then they take their ball and leave, right? This is how they are. It'll never change. And they show their behinds every chance they can. And I get it. I hope we get this. Let this be a lesson that this is how they are. Our truth, even though we have videos, is going to be hate speech. But this is what you did, demons. This is what you did. This is what they do. This is how devils act. This is how hybrids act. This is how the nymphs act. This is how the fallen seeds act. So let's not get mad. Let's do better. Because when you know better, you do better.
Exactly.
And I rest with that one.
All right. Thank you, Sister Cassie. Yep. You know, this is warfare. This is what it is.
Did I see forecast in there? Hey, forecast.
Yeah, peace and blessings, big bro. Yeah, so YouTube has been doing their devilishment to us today. So that's what they do. They won this round, but we'll win the next one. We're gonna win the war.
We don't give them that. They ain't winning nothing. We don't never get him that. We ain't never give them the net. Never. But we expect demons to be demons.
Exactly.
We can't get him that.
Exactly. So, you know, we love you all and we thank all of y'all for coming out with us. We got Mayat, peace and blessings. Thank you, Queen, for all that you do. Forecast, big brother, peace and blessings. Glad that you see, glad you're here. Emil, peace and blessings. Golden Gold, peace and blessings. Who else we got up in here? Let's see. Earth Angel 1105 Remix, peace and blessings. We're glad you're here. So definitely check us out. We will be, like I said, get the Rumble thing together. We'll be getting all of that so we can do what we got to do and keep the messages coming. This is warfare, and this is what it looks like. But trust, believe, look for the next time we go back again, peace secured through strength. We will finish this topic. This is a very important topic. So as we say always, you kill the nigga in you, I'm going to kill the nigga in me, and our God will reign supreme. We are Black First today, tomorrow, and forever. Love y'all. Peace.
Peace.
So you better get the message and get it straight. You're going to need some bridge work. It's simple as that. Because we're living in judgment. We're living in implementation.